If you are a new follower or you've been on this journey with me for the last 5 years, I need to stop you and say thank you. Reaching 1 million followers on Instagram is not just a stat for me. It is a million people that I've had the privilege of making laugh. That is a debt that I can truly never, ever repay, but I will try my best to do that. A lot of you guys may know me as DEJIWASTAKEN, but I want to let the hair down for a second and introduce you guys to Deji. And yes, Deji is my actual name. I get that a lot. I started making content on YouTube about 10 years ago on TRiDENT GC. That's my main channel. Go subscribe to that. With my brother, making skits and gaming videos. That was something that we're always passionate about, watching other people like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, among other people, Gaming Lemon, shout out to Gaming Lemon. And honestly, anybody who has ever created content knows how difficult it is. Coming up with ideas, battling with the idea that you're fighting the algorithm to get your video seen. And yeah, that proved to be a difficulty for us. Spending like 8 hours on a video just for like 20 to 30 people to see it, and 10 of them are your mom pressing refresh. Fast forward to 2021, I was fresh out of university and I had free time, and I just decided, hey, let's take a jab at short form. This was back when people still didn't like TikTok. A lot of people were very much against TikTok. So it was a bit of a step outside of my comfort zone. I actually took about 2 days before I ever posted my first video. And it was my brother, who sits opposite me in my videos. Yes, that's my older brother, who told me to go ahead and post my video. And here we are today. We just hit 1 million followers on Instagram, and we have an incredibly huge fan base here in Dubai, but also worldwide. In places like Brazil, South Africa. I met somebody that said that they're from Brunei, like bro, Cyprus, all kinds of places. And honestly, it's unbelievable that I get to do this. With that being said though, a lot of people come to me with a lot of questions. And one of the questions that they ask me is, how do I start? How do I get into it? And is it sustainable? And I'm going to answer that question right now. In regards to starting, you just need to start. You just need to start. Go with the flow. Do what feels right. There's an audience out there for everyone. There's 8 billion people in this planet, and the most followed person, Cristiano Ronaldo, has
600 million.
Somebody do the math, but that's not even 1% of the world population. Right? Yeah, I think so. Meaning that there's still 99% of the world that can still support you. And somebody who supports Cristiano can still also support you, by the way. So it's still technically 100%. You just have to find something that you enjoy. If you're making content for the sake of making money, you're going to be miserable. With that being said, how do I make a living from content? My nose is blowing up. Yeah, sorry about that. Creators like me have had to go out of their way to find ways to sustain themselves. For example, creating music. We are working on merch. We even creating and opening businesses, especially here in the UAE. The UAE creators are actually very dependent on their audience. They're very dependent on people supporting them. And I appreciate you guys, because just about a week ago, we had our little cameo run for Valentine's, and you guys came through. You allowed me to send awesome videos to your loved ones. We did about 50 or 60 of those, and that was insane. And I really appreciate you guys for that. We might turn that into a yearly thing. A lot of places have Creator Fund. Best way to know is to just Google if your country is in Creator Fund. For most platforms, they do pay out for views, but mainly TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube are paying platforms that support creators for making content on their pages. I live in the UAE, and in the UAE, there's no payout on TikTok or Instagram for views. So for majority of my content journey, I have actually made no money on my content. A lot of people will be like, whoa, what? That's crazy. What? How? And yeah, it just is what it is. I used to work a 9 to 5 in a creative agency where I got to make content anyway. And even when I was doing that, I was also making content for my platforms. So I would, I guess, recommend having a job first to sustain yourself. Unless you get like a pretty active following on Facebook or YouTube, which I would recommend because YouTube has the highest payout of all the platforms. then you might just want to get a job, an actual job. Specifically for anybody who might be watching this within the UAE, because of the situation, UAE creators are actually very dependent on brand collabs. They usually take a look at your insights, and based on that, they determine whether or not they want to work with you. I would say keep your price where you feel it should be. If you need help with that, you can go on Google and literally type up what people for your account size are charging. This is internationally. In the last 5 years, I've made different kinds of content. I've made skits, and now I'm doing podcast spoof videos, which are a lot of fun. Because there's no monetary value for me, I've only ever done things that are interesting to me, things that are fun to me. And that's why we're doing what we're doing now. When I get bored of this, I'm going to switch out of it. And that's how it should be. Your motivation should always be to have fun. Anyway, because of all of that motion, we've been able to generate millions of views every month, millions of followers across different platforms, and I am just so thankful to all of you guys for that. Because of this, I've met some incredible creators. I've been able to talk to some of the people that I've watched on TV growing up, some musicians, some incredible people that I would have only ever dreamed to be able to meet or even call a friend. And I owe that to you guys. Ultimately, I would say not everybody is a creator, but everybody can create. So if that's something you want to do, then take a jab at it. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and my brother, and stay tuned for what's next. You can follow me on all my platforms and on Twitch. I stream on Twitch and everything, and thank you.